Hi there. Today I want to explain you CSS. CSS is style in basic terms. We as front-end developers, we want to make our project website much more beautiful to read, visible, also for other users, visitors. So for that purpose, you have to use CSS and know a lot of stuff about it. All right, so let me create the simple HTML structure. So there are three ways to address CSS. The first way we call it inline. So for that purpose, I just want to create a new tag. Let's call it h1 tag and let's write some text in it, page heading, and inline works like that. First of all, we have to write style keyword itself in the h1 tag and write some properties. For example, I want to choose color and color should be, for example, blue. All right. So let's run the program and see. So you see, we have our output. All right. So the next way is we call it internal. It means that we have to create the new tag in the head tag as style, and we have to address our h1 tag here. Brackets. All right. So let me tell you that h1 is represented as selector here. Brackets. I mean, inside of the brackets, we have to write our properties. Like, let's say color should be, let's say aqua color, and let's change the size of it using the new property as font size. Let's say 40 pixels. All right. So let's open with live server and see. You see, it's been increased and the color has been changed. All right. But the first two ways to address CSS are not that sufficient because real front-end developers they don't use that much because when you have page that there are a lot of information such as cards, banners, footers, headers, a lot of stuff. So do you think we have to use style here as internal or inline of each tag? Sometimes may be useful, but usually we don't use that first two ways. The third way, we have to create the new file. Let's call it style CSS, style.css. All right. So, as you can see, I created the file with HTML extension as index.html same with CSS style.css. Guys, you don't need to create the names of files as I do because index and style that are the basics names of files. You can create names by yourself as you wish, but the thing is, you have to remain the appropriate extension. All right. What I mean, if you, for example, want to create the HTML file writing like index or let's say project number one dot html, so it won't be HTML file. It's going to be just simple file like Word document. So it's not the appropriate thing to mess up with extensions, all right? So style CSS, how should I address to my file? I just have to write a link tag and instead of href, I have to connect my style CSS. All right. So same thing as in the second way. And third way, by the way, I forgot to mention how it looks like, code like external. So H1 color, let's say, should be blue violet. And let's change the font size as, let's say, 35 pixels. All right. So let's run the program and see. Page heading. Yeah. So for the next example, I want to create p tags. Let's count them as three p tags and let's write like first element, actually first paragraph. Let's copy paste like this. All right. Second, third. So let's connect these p tags inside of the style CSS file. P. Let's say, actually, let's first of all run the and see. As you can see, there are too small to read, right? So let's make some changes. Let's say font size should be 25 pixels. All right. What else? Let's see first of all how it looks like. Let's make them a bit, how to say, let's give them much more roll. As you can see, they are thin, but let's make it a bit fat in simple term. Like, let's say font weight. First of all, let's assign 400 to see the difference. 600. Yeah, we see the difference here. But for example, what if I want to make, for example, the first paragraph not identical as the other ones? Let's make it different from the next ones. So how should I do that? So, and by the way, I have forgot to mention that about measurement, pixels. We use pixels for font size, also line height, but let's discuss it for the next video because line height is when we have multiple lines p tag with height and other properties, but for font weight we don't use any measurements. All right. So I want to make my first paragraph different. So for that purpose, I'm going to apply class, and let's call it text, just text. All right. So for that purpose, I'm gonna write dot text. Let's say font size is gonna be 30 pixels, and let's say color is gonna be green. Open with Lavisser, and we see it's different. Also about color property. There are three, as far as I remember, there are three ways to assign the color for any tag. The first one, as you can see, it's by word itself, green, blue, violet. The the second one we called RGBA or RGB. It means red, green, blue. Like we mix these colors and they are given in the actually in numeric terms like 0, 255 and etc. But let's discuss it later for the next video. Third one, we use hexadecimal code. We have to write the 6 alphanumeric characters. For example, if I want to create the color as red, I have to write FF0000 and semicolon. Semicolon for all the properties in the end of the line, right? So let me run. So you see it's different. All right. So what's next I want to talk about? All right. There is also another term as secondary class. Like for example, let's say the size of text, I mean of the first p tag should be 25 pixels as other p tags. So we can just remove that. But wait, first of all, we have to create class for other p tags to be honest. And let's write the secondary class like text secondary. It means if I want to write text selector in style.css, it's gonna work for all p tags, but text secondary, if I assign that a selector, for example here, it's gonna be changed only for the first p tag, but it's not gonna engage the other p tags. So what I'm gonna do for the text secondary tag? Let's say for the text, let's say like color should be green as before. Font size, let's say it's gonna be 25 pixels. So do you think I have to write font size 25 pixels here as well? No, there is no need for that because text secondary is already connected to the text class. So color, font size are still remained here as well. But If you want to make changes also in the first bit tag, we can just we can just write something in a text secondary class. Let's change the color. All right, yellow, not yellow, maybe what color we are given here? Aquamarine, let's say, and font size is gonna be 15 pixels. Open with live server, and you see it's different. That's it. Thank you for your attention.